Alright, we're going to do trigonometry and area. So we're going to start with a triangle. And if you have a triangle and you know the side, angle, side. So going back to those things we learned earlier. You can find the area by doing 1/2 the side times the sine of A. So let's start with the triangle. Obviously that's not a right triangle. Let's say we know this is 32 degrees, and we know this is 16, and this is 24. We can use that formula to find the area. So my area would equal 1/2 16 times 24 times the sine of 32. So half of 16 is 8. And then 8 times 24 is 192 times the sine of 32. Make sure you're in degrees and type 192 times sine of 32. And your area is going to be about 101 7/10. My about symbol. And let's say this is centimeters, so that would be centimeters squared. So that saves you the trouble of putting in the height of the triangle, using your trig functions to find the height, and then finding the area. Alright, so now we'll work with polygons. I'm skipping quadrilaterals because hopefully you know how to find the areas of those. We're just going to go into polygons greater than 4, so starting with the pentagon. And the formula for all of these is just going to be 1/2 AP. So that's 1/2 my apothem times my perimeter. Well, my perimeter is pretty easy to find on a regular polygon. I got a pentagon, so everything's going to be 12. So it's just going to be 12 times 5, which is 60. Now I need to find my apothem. So draw that in. Now I don't know that. If I make a triangle here, I can actually draw in all the triangles. Got 5 triangles there. Find this angle in the central angle, so that's just 360 divided by 5. So that'd be 72. All these central angles would be 72 degrees. Since I know the length of that bottom side is 12, well, half of that's going to be 6. I'm trying to find this one right there. And if I do, I'm going to take 72 and divide it by 2. To find this angle right here is 36. And once I know that angle, then I can use the tangent function to find my x there. So tangent of 36, tangent is opposite over adjacent, so that would be 6 over x. So times by x, you get x tangent 36 equals 6. So divide by the tangent of 36, so x would equal 6 divided by the tangent of 36. Type that into your calculator. 6 divided by tangent of 36. And you're going to get about, we'll just round it to 8 3/10. So that would be 1/2, 8 3/10 times 60. Half of 60 is 30, so it's just 30 times 8 3/10. And that would be about 249. And I did feet there, so that'd be feet squared. So any polygon, you're going to find the apothem and the perimeter, put that into the formula, and find your area. You could just find the area of each triangle in the shape and then multiply, in this case times 5. But with this formula, it's a little bit less steps. Alright, so let's work with a hexagon now. Let's pretend I could actually draw a regular hexagon here. And I'm going to put in a radius there. And let's say my radius is, I don't know, 14. So we're going to use the same formula. Area equals 1/2 AP. So drawing my triangles here, so we can see them all. Don't really have to draw all the triangles, I just like to. Alright, so find that central angle. So 360 divided by 6. You're going to get a central angle of 60. That makes all these other angles 60. So first I need to find my apothem there. So I'm just going to do sine of 60 equals x over 14, opposite over hypotenuse. So this is just going to be 14 sine of 60 equals x. Type that into your calculator. 14 sine of 60. You get 7 square roots of 3. If you rounded to this point, it would be okay. Well, then we got to find the adjacent side. So we're going to do cosine of 60 equals, we'll call that y. So let's label what we're doing here. So that one's x, that one's y. Y over 14, because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So this would just be 14 cosine 60 equals my y. So 14 cosine 60, type that in the calculator, you're going to get 7. If we remembered our 30, 60, 90 rules, then you wouldn't have had to done all that. But I was forgetting that at that moment, but that's okay. Alright, so we know half of this line is 7, so the whole thing is going to be 14. So each one of these sides is going to be 14. So I'm going to do 14 times 6 to get my perimeter of 84. So area equals 1/2 times the 7 square roots of 3 times 84. Half of 84 is 42. So area equals 42 times 7 square roots of 3. So type that in your calculator. 42 times 7 square roots of 3. And if you had rounded 7 square roots of 3, you're going to get about the same answer. But area is going to be about 509 and 2/10, and let's call this meters. So that'd be meters squared. So that's how you find the area of a triangle using trig functions, area of a polygon if you're given the apothem or the radius.